That said, let's go ahead and get into it. So one more time, welcoming Scott Cunningham. He's one of our top subject matter experts. Been with the digital marketer community for years, taught multiple sessions, spoken on, I don't know how many stages during multiple events. He's awesome. And he specializes in Shopify, e-commerce, and again, is our agency of the year for the last one we just gave out back in September. So welcome, Scott.
My award is behind me. You spotted it out.
I gotta send you a light. That's the next step.
All right. Thanks, Hey, this is a good group. 98 people in this virtual room right now. I'm really excited to jump into it. So as Mark said, we do work with a lot of e-commerce businesses. So I am going to be showing some e-commerce examples today. However, everything that I'm teaching, you can apply to your business no matter what it is. So I did teach the e-com cert with Lauren and my partner Simon, but I also did a section inside Digital Marketers paid advertising cert that was all about content. So I showed these principles applied to other types of businesses. So I showed examples of SaaS, B2B, some lead generation stuff. So everything I'm going through, you can apply it to your business. However, I'm showing it in the light of e-commerce. So let's hop right into it today and we'll get started. So you're all in the right place. We are at the AI Powered Marketer Bootcamp, and I'm here talking about product positioning. As Mark said, take notes, right? I'm actually going to be sending everybody worksheets. So everything that I'm going through today is precisely how we go through positioning products for our clients, right? We do have an agency that won this award. We have about 50 clients on Shopify. We also have a community of Shopify merchants we help called Merchant Mastery. We have about 800 merchants in there. And we use this product positioning formula with everybody, and we've gotten some amazing results with it. So if you take notes and fill this stuff out, you're going to fix your positioning with the help of ChatGPT and AI as well. All right, so the big problem that we all know in the market, we're all marketers here in this room, I presume. The big problem right now that everybody should know about is that customer acquisition costs are rising. They're going through the roof, and everyone thinks that a new channel will save their sales problem. So I call this like chasing the channel, where you're like, hey, I just came to the realization that Facebook no longer works for me because my acquisition costs are so high. Therefore, I must go to TikTok. Oh, shoot, that's not working for me. So I better go to YouTube, and that's not working. So I go and try TikTok or Snapchat, Pinterest, whatever it may be. And you're just kind of like chasing the channel. Because back in like 2017, 2018, guess what? We didn't have to be that brilliant at marketing to get a whole bunch of traffic and to get a whole bunch of sales. Put a little bit of budget into ads, reach a bajillion people, acquire a whole bunch of customers, right? But nowadays, customers are more savvy, right? They're inundated with lots of ads, lots of content. They're a little bit more picky, right? So we can't just chase channels all the time. We actually have to get better at marketing. So the path forward here is we need to understand our customers much better if we want to win their attention and ultimately win the sale. We need to make our messaging, our positioning about our customer. We need to understand their nuances, and we need to speak to their desires if they're going to care about anything we have to say. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you this 5-ingredient offer stack formula that you're going to be able to use in all of your marketing assets. And once you see this formula, you will not be able to unsee it, and you will be thankful for that, because it's going to make content creation really, really easy. Like I'm not kidding you right now. If anybody here is like, oh, I just have to come up with another email, what should I do? Oh, I have to come up with some landing page copy. I have to come up with some ad angles. This is going to be your secret sauce. And it's going to alleviate a lot of that pressure of trying to think of what to come up with, because you're going to have it at your fingertips if you just go through these exercises. All right, so we're going to go through the 5-ingredient offer stack formula, right? And this is going to be the first ingredient that we look at. It's going to be hooks, right? And when I'm talking about hooks, this is the part of the formula that we're using to win your customer's attention, right? With a hook, it's not about you and your products. It's all about your customer and their nuances. Hooks serve as like a qualifier, right? I saw a really good hook. I actually talk about this hook all the time because I'm obsessed with it. It's an e-commerce company called AG1 Greens. You've all probably seen their ads in January, February. They sell like those healthy green drinks. The hook in their ad says, say goodbye to your daily pill routine, right? So the purpose of that hook is it's a qualifier. Anybody who's fed up with taking pills every day and they forget to take their zinc and iron and vitamin D, guess what? You don't have to remember all that because you're just going to take one drink from us, right? But with the hook, it didn't explain what AG1 Drinks does. It just says, say goodbye to your daily pill routine, and you have no idea how. So hooks, speaking to those nuances, reading the customer's mind, and qualifying that customer, letting them know this message is for you. We know your miserable state. We got something for you. All right. So we're going to use one of my favorite tools to create hooks. It's Digital Marketer's before and after grid, which comes from their ideal customer profile. All right. And I'm going to show you a real example. One of my favorite examples to use, it's a client that we've worked with for many years up here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We don't have a lot of clients in our hometown, but they are one of them. And we're located in the prairies, and there's not an ocean in sight around us, right? And they were a brick and mortar store for like 30 years before doing e-commerce. So a lot of their customers were this lake folks, right? No oceans in sight. But one of their best avatars is this guy, Lake Dad Daryl, right? He's the guy at the lake that has the disposable income. He buys all the gear for the kids and everybody wants to hang out with, right? He's saving kids off from drowning off the wakeboards. So obviously with ocean sports, they could have picked one of many avatars. They have a lot. They could have picked a professional wakeboarder. They could have picked like a beach bum or a beginner, somebody who's new to sports. But they liked this guy, like I said, because he has the disposable income. So the first thing that you would do, and we're going to send these worksheets out to you, but in the worksheet, like the customer avatar canvas or the ideal customer profile, these tools that Digital Marketer has, within those documents, there's this one section called the before and after grid. And I'm not kidding you, I'm obsessed with this thing. I would never write an ad, an email, or a landing page without doing this one exercise. And I know other presenters have been talking about it, but I'm going to show you how we're using this tool to create hooks in a second here. All right. So for those who aren't familiar with it, it's pretty simple. We're going to outline your target customer's undesirable, miserable state before they bought from you. And then we're going to talk about what life is like after they bought from you, right? So everybody that you sell to is in this undesirable state right now. They have this aspirational state that they seek and they desire. And your product or service is just a vehicle to get them from misery to transformation. All right. So if we look at the before side, we have 5 categories that we're going to fly through. And basically we're looking at Lake Dad Daryl and we're thinking, what is life like before shopping with Ocean Sports? What did Lake Dad Daryl have before? Well, he had outdated, uncool, broken down gear that nobody was using and it kind of sucked, right? And how did that make him feel? It made him feel really embarrassed and guilty that his kids had to use this garbage, right? And how does that feeling impact his average day? Well, he used to be all about going to the lake, but now he doesn't go that often. He's not spending quality time with the family. He's not creating memories. He's kind of like a bad dad, right? So what is his status now? Is that a bold statement, Michelle? You're covering your ears for that one, right? And how does that average day thing, like he's not going to the lake anymore, he's not that cool dad he used to be, how does that impact his status? And when it comes to status, it's literally what people whisper about you when you're not around, right? So what are his peers whispering about him when he's not around? He's a reclusive neighbor. What happened to that guy? Never see him anymore. What a recluse. What a terrible dad, right? All because he didn't buy his kids wake gear, right? And it takes us to our last category, which is good versus evil. Everybody here in this room is helping to sell a product that is overcoming an evil in the world, right? So we got to think about that. What is the evil in the world that wakeboards are helping overcome? You guessed it. If the kids don't go wakeboarding, they don't get outside, they're going to grow up stuck on their phones. They're going to grow up on Snapchat and TikTok and addicted to social media, all because Lake Dad Daryl didn't buy his kids new wakeboard gear, right? Major bummer. So this is a really good exercise for you to go through. You want to be thinking about what is life like before the customer bought from you. And now we're going to look at what life is like after. So Lake Dad Daryl finally makes a smart decision, buys this wakeboarding gear for his kids. And what is life like after for him? What does he have now? He has top quality gear that's trendy, high tech, safe, high performance, right? That one's pretty easy. These are like the features that we talk about with our products. That's an easy one to document. But how does that make him feel? Now he's proud to show it off. He's empowered. He's excited. He's bragging to everybody, right? All of a sudden, He's got his mojo back. And how does his average day spent? Oh, guess what? He's at the lake every weekend now, bonding with family and friends, making memories, right? Having good times with everybody. And how does that elevate his status? Well, now he's the guy everyone at the lake wants to hang out with or even be. And the good versus evil, did we battle those evil Snapchat demons and get those kids off their phones? You bet we did. Now the kids are healthy, athletic, and it leads to more people being healthy too, because everybody's hanging out at the lake and building good habits. Right? And the reason this exercise is so important is because as you go down this before and after grid from have, feel, average day status, and good versus evil, it gets deeper and deeper with the motive of the customer who we're talking to, right? If I was sending out an ad to Lake Dad Daryl right now, which one do you think he's going to care more about? If I was like, hey, Lake Dad Daryl, buy top quality wakeboarding gear that's trendy and high tech, or hey, Lake Dad Daryl, get your kids off their phone and hit the lake this weekend. Probably the one that's like, hey, get your kids off the phone, because he probably knows nothing about what's trendy or high tech, right? So as we go lower down this before and after grid, we're getting deeper with the motive, which means we're understanding the nuances better, and we have a better chance of reading our customers' minds. So we're going to use this before and after grid. Like I know, believe me, I've been doing this a long time. Mark wasn't kidding. I've been in the digital marketer community for a very long time, and I've been obsessed with this before and after grid. I've used it so much. But before I was so obsessed with it and made everybody use it, I saw a whole lot of people creating avatars and not putting them to use. And today we're going to show you exactly how to put this to use. Okay, so you create this before and after grid, you brainstorm all this good stuff. And now we're going to pull out hooks. And remember, hooks are meant to agitate the pain point of the avatar or speak to their aspirational state. And you can literally go through any one of those boxes that I just outlined and pull a hook out of it, right? So we got a little box here. It says hook 1, 2, 3. We're going to brainstorm some ideas that agitate the pain or speak to transformation. Well, here's a good one that I just talked about. Get your kids off Snapchat and hit the lake. That one came right out of the good versus evil box. Hit the lake every weekend this summer. That came right out of the average day. Be the coolest guy at the lake this summer. This one came right out of status. Okay, so pretty easy exercise. You're going to fill out your before and after grid. You're going to come up with a few hooks. And these are some real world examples. Remember, when I show you this 5-part formula, you can use it everywhere. You can use it on the homepage of your website, product pages, collection pages. Of course, you're going to use it in emails and ads. And here's some real world examples of how we're using hooks with Ocean Sports marketing assets. Right? Here's a Facebook ad. Oh, there's a hook right in the headline of the Facebook ad. Don't wait for summer to plan your water fun. You could see right on their homepage, surfers for the whole family. Right in their email banner, get excited for your life on the water. So we're always using the hook. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other content on these pages, but I'll reveal what that all means in a bit as we go through this whole 5-part formula. Right? So that's your first ingredient, is the hook. Right? And just remember that. What is the purpose of the hook? It's to win your customer's attention, stop them from scrolling, right? So they see a hook and they're rattled up, they're agitated, and they're like, what's going on here? Why is Scott reading my mind? Why is this ad so good at speaking to me? But what happens is once you win your customer's attention, you kind of need to back it up with value, because you just won your customer's attention and now they're in this like heightened state of awareness. And they're going to turn into a detective, and they're going to interrogate the heck out of you. They're going to put you in a hot seat, and they're going to run you through 4 lines of questioning. And I'm going to walk you through what those lines of questioning look like next. Okay, so we really need to understand is what is the customer going to interrogate you with? Okay, so the first thing that they might ask, right? The first thing they're going to ask, they're like, okay, you got my attention with the hook. Get my kid off Snapchat this weekend. I have no idea what you do, but you got my attention. The first thing that they might ask is, how can this product or service improve my life? Like, you said, get my kid off Snapchat. How do you solve that? So basically, we need to explain it, what it is we do. How do we actually improve their quality of life? And we address this line of questioning with what we call function attributes. These are like features and benefits. These come from like the have box of the before and after grid. It's like how the product works, how you store it, how you use it, how it makes your life better, how to optimize it, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, and I'll show examples of these in a sec. But after that, basically, they're like, okay, you got my attention with the hook. I'm rattled. I'm reading about how this works, and it makes sense. Those function attributes make a lot of sense. The next question that they might ask is, do I like the brand selling this product? Like, who is selling this product, and do I like them? Like, you got my attention with the hook. I get how it works, but who the heck is selling this? Right? So we address this line of questioning with what we call brand attributes. And brand attributes are ultimately about building instant relatability and likability, where the customer's like, oh, cool. I see myself in the narrative. I align with the values. I believe in the mission. I support the cause. So the more that we could do that, the more instant likability there will be. And I'll show some examples of that in a sec. But once you've answered that, let's just recap here. It's like, okay, got my attention with the hook. I get how it works with function. This sounds amazing. I love this company. They're so aligned with my own values. This is amazing. But the next question they might ask is this company legitimate? Like, do other people vouch for this product or brand? Is this real? And we address this line of questioning with what we call influence attributes. These are third-party endorsements. So the best kind of influence attributes that I could think of are customer reviews and testimonials and user-generated content. But you could also use other forms of social proof, like publications you're featured in, industry endorsements, celebrity endorsements, influencer endorsements, how many times your product has sold out, how long you've been in business, lots of way to leverage other people's third-party endorsements of you. And now what's happening, recapping, they're like, okay, got my attention with the hook. I get how it works with the function, love the company because of brand. Everyone's saying so much amazing things because of influence. But the last question they're going to ask is, based on everything that I know in this moment right now, does my perceived value of this product outweigh the price? And that's why we call this an offer stack formula. We're trying to stack so much dang perceived value that it's a no-brainer to buy. We just addressed all of their questions, that little voice on the back of their head trying to get them not to buy. We handled every objection with our offer stack. So now they're like, yeah, this makes complete sense. I'm going to buy. And we call this last one transaction attributes. Based on everything I know, does the perceived value outweigh the cost? We call this transaction. And to really tip the scale in your favor and not leave it to chance, what are we going to do? We're going to include offers, right? And when I talk about offer, that's not synonymous with discount. A discount is a type of offer. An offer could be something like 10% off, free shipping over $150, or it could be something like money back guarantee, 30-day exchange, lifetime warranty. It could be something like limited edition, limited time, scarcity, and urgency. It could be just pricing justification. But we really want to compel them with a type of offer that we include in the formula. Right? And a good way to remember those 4 value attributes that I covered, I talk about these a lot in the DM community, and Ryan Dice was even talking about TBIF at the last M3 Mastermind. It is Thank Buddha, It's Friday. It actually stands for Transaction, Brand, Influence, and Function. Okay. So here's an example of transaction attributes. I kind of went over that pretty quickly, but this is what it would look like, right? This is an ad from a direct-to-consumer brand called Ana Luisa. Never worked with them, but I went and did a study. I like their marketing. I looked at all their ads that they were running at once. And some of them were heavy on influence. Some were heavy on transactions. Some were heavy on brand. Some were heavy on function. This one was heavy on transaction because in the creative, the main message is buy one, get one, 40% off, right? So that would be an example of using a transaction attribute in your offer stack formula. But it could be other things like bundles, threshold rewards, cross-sell, upsell, VIP, loyalty rewards, all these kind of good things that I already touched on. Brand attributes. My favorite brand attribute is a founder story, right? Especially in if you're a coach or if you're in e-commerce, you usually were your avatar at some point, right? And then you went out and solved something and you're helping other people solve that same thing. So you want to share a founder story. People want to align with your mission. They want to see themselves in your narrative, right? So if you can tell the whole world that I am the person who climbed the highest mountain and swam the deepest ocean to solve this, and I failed 5 times, but I got back up and I finally solved it. I have the best version of the solution for you. Customers gonna be like, wow, I want to buy from that guy or woman, right? So these are things like your founder story. It's relatable brand narrative. It's things like your values, vision, and mission and causes you support. In this example, Ana Luisa, right on their homepage, crafted with the planet in mind, 100% water neutral, 100% carbon neutral, a link to their mission, link to their impact, and they got a little trust badge here too. Alrighty. Influence attributes. Like I said, this is going to be things like reviews, user-generated content, testimonials, social proof, endorsements, influencers. This is an example of an ad that Ana Luisa was running at the same time as the other one. But instead of being big on transaction, where the last one was like all about the offer, this one was 52 sold every day, right? That implies that this product is in demand from other customers. And they have a nice testimonial in the body copy of this ad as well. So this one's really big on influence. Okay. And the last one here is function, right? These are your features and benefits. It serves a specific function based on a need, improves their quality of life, right? Usually there's a need-based trigger. And just looking at another example, this is a company called Vessi. They're another one of my favorite direct-to-consumer brands. And they're using function all over their website. If you go to their homepage, you're going to see a little section that says, hey, our shoes are 100% waterproof. They're breathable, lightweight, right? These are all function attributes. Okay. And this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. So we're going to include a worksheet. It's the TBIF value attributes worksheet. And you really want to do this part. Okay. So when it came to the hook was all about your customer, right? So sometimes it's a little bit harder to know the customer. So what could you do to work on hooks? You could do, you could do surveys. You could look at testimonials and reviews from your customers. If you don't have many customers, you can go and look at your competitors' reviews and see what they love about your competitors' products. But with the value attributes, these ones are all about you. So it's going to be really hard for AI and ChatGPT to come up with these things. But it's going to be really great to use these in our AI plan that I'm going to show you a little bit later on. So you really want to do this. Like, remember at the very start of this presentation, I said, hey, acquisition costs are going up. We have to do better marketing. I wasn't kidding. ChatGPT is not going to fix the better marketing part for you. But if you could do this part, it's going to be a weight off your shoulder. I honestly have done this with so many entrepreneurs over the years, and everybody tells me it feels like a therapy session. They're like, oh my goodness, Scott, like I've had so many of these ideas about my business for like years, and I never knew what to do with them. And I'm like, well, the first thing that you need to do is just document them. And I'll show you how to put them to use later. But for now, you just want to brainstorm, what are all the transaction attributes I can include, right? So some examples for ocean sports, like buy a wakeboard, receive a free wake vest. Buy 3 wake vests, get 1 50% off. 30-day money back guarantee. So you're just going to brainstorm a bunch of transaction attributes. We go to brand, right? These are like a good way to come up with a brand attribute is talking about what you believe in. That's your value. We believe your kids deserve to enjoy the best outdoors, or to enjoy the outdoors at its best. Also, we'll donate $1 from every wakeboard sold, right? Or we started this business as dads on a mission to have more fun with our kids, right? So these are all examples of brand attributes that people will align with and like you more right away for. Influence attributes. Okay, we got a customer testimonial. My kids love the new gear. Oh, we got a safety association giving us the stamp of approval. This one over here, hey, we're going to use an athlete endorsement. Hey, you could buy the same wakeboard that the celebrity athlete uses, right? And function, these ones are pretty obvious. Everybody should know function. It's basically talking about the features. Hey, we have this new fiberglass technology. Hey, everything's made with triple protected waterproof materials. Hey, we have over 20 wakeboard models to choose from, right? So you really want to go through that exercise. So far, we did the before and after grid. Then we created hooks. Then you're creating your TBIF value attributes. And now if you do all that hard work, you're going to be in a good position for what's next. Because we're going to put these 5 ingredients together in what I call an offer stack. It's your hook plus these TBIF value attributes. Here's the idea. We're going to put these 5 ingredients together. They work really well when they're combined. And I'm not kidding you. We've like scaled companies to the moon and maybe to Mars with Elon Musk with this offer stack formula. Okay. So the key is though, when you put these 5 ingredients together, you don't know which combination of the ingredients your customers are going to like the most. So it's kind of like making an omelet. And you don't know which omelet is going to be the fan favorite. One day you're going to feed your audience green peppers plus onion plus mushrooms. The next day you're going to try sausage and cheese and roasted pepper. Sounds like a good omelet, right? And you're just testing these omelets all the time until everyone's like, whoa, loved that omelet, right? And I'll talk about how we validate all that stuff in a second here, but that's the idea is we want to get in the habit of assembling these offer stacks, right? So this is what we would do. This is another worksheet that you will have access to, is you want to just combine different ingredients from your hooks, from your function, brand, influence, and transaction attributes into a full offer stack, right? So in this worksheet, you'll see, put your 3 hooks in here, put your 3 function attributes, put your 3 brand, put your 3 influence and transaction. And together, each of these columns is an offer stack. It's a way to pitch your products to your customers, right? And I can't tell you like how many times people come to me and they're like, Scott, well, what do you mean? I've done a pretty good job with positioning. And I'm like, well, have you ever got stuck at a sales ceiling? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, I have got stuck at a sales ceiling. And I tell them, because the offer stack that got to you to where you are now is not the same offer stack that's going to get you to $100,000 a month. Not going to be the same offer stack that gets you to $1 million a month. So you want to get in the habit of always compiling these ingredients, testing different versions of your offer stacks to see which ones are resonating, and then beating the benchmark with better ones always. Cool so far? Get a thumbs up. I can't see that many people. How about Ron Wheeler? Thumbs up? I could see Ron. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. Mark, give me a thumbs up. Okay, good stuff. So this is the offer stack formula, right? And just some notes about creating your offer stack. These offer stack ingredients don't need to be in order, and you don't always need to use all 5. If you're just getting started with this formula, I would get in the habit of using all 5 because you want to be intentional. But I could tell you right now, like we've helped so many entrepreneurs fix their ads with this formula. And there was a guy that I know, he sells like craft vinegar. And when I met him, I was fascinated by him because I loved his products, and he was a remarkable entrepreneur. He was a go-getter. And he did everything I instruct him to do. We did some mentorship with him. He like worked on his offer stacks, worked on his website, worked on his emails, launched ads, and he was getting a really bad return on ad spend. He'd spent like $1,200 and only generated $600. So his ROAS was like 0.5. And we're like, okay, no problem. We're not sweating because we know that we just want to audit your ads using this offer stack formula. And when we went through his ads, we found out he was not using brand attributes, right? You're selling vinegar. That's something that's really hard because you need to taste it in order to believe in the value, right? So in the absence of them trying the flavor, we need to go big on the brand, and we need people to buy into the story. Okay. So we found out through interviewing him, he was like, what do you mean brand? I don't have a founder story. Anybody here feel like you don't have a remarkable founder story? Well, you wouldn't be alone, right? So Rodrigo was like, you know what? I don't really have a remarkable founder story, until we interviewed him and we found out that he was shopping around. Like, believe me, I would never be someone who ends up selling craft vinegar. So there must have been something in Rodrigo's life that compelled him and led him to selling craft vinegar. And we need to uncover what that founder story is and what's the reason that he did it. And we found out that he was fed up with all this like corporate type vinegar that was flavorless. So he went on this mission, and he was in France, and he found an encyclopedia at a library that talked about this method of making vinegar from the 1800s. So then he went and consulted a university in Massachusetts and asked if they can help him make this machine. They helped him make the fermenting machine. He got the right facility for it. He was able to ferment his vinegar for 9 days, and it tastes awesome. Good founder story? Yeah. When we relaunched those ads, we spent about 400 days in the first week and generated 1,600. So a 4 ROAS versus his old 0.5. And I'm telling you, the reason I brought up that story is because if he was going big on brand, I would have looked for another ingredient. Well, what are you doing for influence? What are you doing for function? You don't always need to use all 5, but we want to be intentional, because when we go back and audit, we want to know what we miss and what else we could try and pivot. Okay. And this is very much a mix and match process where you're going to test variations to validate which positioning clicks with your customers, right? And we're going to test and validate different offer stacks. Most of the time, you don't update your homepage or your landing page every month, right? You put some copy on your website, you leave it for like a year. Emails, you'll definitely test offer stacks there. But the place that we are testing and validating offer stacks most often is through ad testing. And then you start to like understand, every time I use this hook, I get a 4% click-through rate. Every time I use this function attribute, everybody buys. You're going to start to get a really intimate sense of what is selling with these omelets. And then you're going to take that omelet, you're going to throw it up on your homepage, throw it up on your product page, throw it up in your emails once you validated through ads. Cool. All right. So we're getting close to the end of this part, and then I'm going to start to talk about AI in a second here. So when you're offer stacking your full channel, it's really easy. Remember I said, never feel like it's going to be a pain in the butt creating content again, because all you got to do is offer stack it. Right? This is an example of Ocean Sports homepage. They got a transaction attribute up there, free shipping threshold. They got a hook, surfers for the whole family. Function, they talk about the collections and the use cases, wake surfers. Influence, they talk about the top globally recognized brands that they carry. Brand attribute, they got a from the owner video right on the homepage. That's all you got to do, folks, for all of your assets. Offer stack them, right? Let's look at a product page. Same idea. It's offer stacked. Brand. We got a little bit of lifestyle imagery. Like lifestyle imagery is really good for brand. Sometimes like not saying anything is more powerful than saying. And I know Mark would agree. He's a big design, asset, photography kind of guy. Sometimes the creative just speaks to the brand itself, and customers align with that narrative through imagery, right? But transaction, we got free shipping threshold, flat rate shipping, right? Hook, get your kids in the wave. Function, waterproof, breathable, lightweight. Influence, testimonials. Easy peasy. We're just offer stacking everything. Okay. Email, it's going to be the same kind of thing. Brand, born in Canada. Influence, been around since 1975. Must be doing something right with our customers. Hook, get excited for life on the water. Function, they're talking about the products you could use for spring break. So the use case. Hook, speaking to product benefits, stay warm with these wetsuits. Function, product features and benefits. Transaction, free shipping over $99. Right? If you go watch the e-com cert with digital marketer, you'll see, or even the paid traffic mastery one, you're going to see a whole bunch more examples. These are ones that we did in the real world with our clients, but in those certifications, I show so many more examples of all kinds of brands using these ingredients, right? Now we're looking at an ad, same thing, easy peasy, offer stack, transaction, free shipping, function, summer sports, brand from the owner video, hook, don't wait for summer, transaction, sign up and save. Anyone feeling a weight off their shoulders when it comes to creating content for your marketing assets? I hope so. Okay. And then what we would do to validate these offer stacks, I'm not going to spend too much time about this because I'm not here to talk about advertising, but what you want to do is find the best combination of copy, creative, and audience. This is your omelet, right? So this is a real case study for a company we've worked with for a long time. We've mentored them for a long time, and they sell t-shirts. And when I first met them, they're like, Scott, we were like, we don't know if we have product market fit, but we have farmers market fit, right? So they were able to sell a lot of shirts at farmers markets, but they didn't know how to transition into online selling. And they're like, we just feel like we're a commodity. Like we're t-shirts. What's so special about us? And I almost kicked my chair down. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm going to tell you, we're going to go through this exercise. So they went through the whole thing. They went through the before and after grid, the hooks, the TBIF value attributes, and the offer stacks. And this was literally like, Monica is one of the founders of this company, and her husband, Nick is like an award-winning designer. And Monica used to be a teacher. So these are the first round of ads that Monica made for her on her own. Like she had the formula and then I didn't touch it. And she showed me these ads that she created. And you could see here, it's like function and brand, original graphic tees, design, silkscreen made to order in our home studio in New Brunswick, featuring original designs by Canadian artist, Nick Chase. It is a brand. Every single one we make is with this 4-screen printing press. That's function. We wouldn't print on a tee we wouldn't love to wear, brand. Let us make your next favorite tee. That's a hook. I literally wear my black hair tee every day. Got a testimonial in there. So that's influence, followed by a headline that says free shipping over 75. That's transaction. And then they did a wildly different, like you want your omelets to be wildly different, right? So the next one, hey, it's way different. It's a buy one, get one sale. And they got a hook, layer up under those bulky sweaters with a super soft one-of-a-kind graphic tee, super soft one-of-a-kind function, Canadian artist design, brand, buy one, get one transaction, right? This one over here, the third one, this was the big winner. This was the big winner. And this one was showing the process of how they make the shirts in a video. But they got everything in this nice little package. Brand, Canadian artist design, function, hand printed, made to order, super soft with a flattering fit. Influence, 5 days out of 7, it's a black hair tee, little testimonial. Nice little neat little offer stack package. I love this. Transaction right here, free shipping over 75. And this last one, their avatar was not Lake Dad Daryl. It was Millennial Dad Dave. So a lot of dad examples. I myself am a dad, and maybe I subconsciously was going that route. But with this avatar, they're like, dad clothes aren't what they used to be. Artist design, versatile, super soft, made to fit. You get it. All the ingredients there. Look at all those influence attributes stacked up, right? Transactions stacked up. And when they launched their first round of ads to test which offer stack was going to perform the best, this happened. Okay. So I'm a big, huge proponent of this offer stack formula. When they launched, they did over $30,000 in sales in just 2 weeks, where before they'd never even cracked like $1 or $2 grand. And believe me, they were not spending $1,000 a day. They were probably spending between $50 and $100 a day. And they were able to achieve this result. Pretty remarkable case study. But this is the same method we're using to grow all kinds of brands. Like these top 2 examples, these are people that we mentor through our merchant mastery system. And when we meet, they're like at 0 or just above 0. but we keep at it with testing, validating offer stacks, improving our content as this like constant feedback loop, and we just scale. It's just like go from 0 to 40K, go from 0 to 100,000 pounds a month. At our agency, it's the same thing. We usually meet clients who are like at the 100K range with our agency, 100K a month. And they're like, we're stuck at 100K. We're like, we hit the ceiling. And I'm like, perfect. I love ceilings because we smash through them with this process: test, validate, improve, right? So they're at 100K. Oh, we got them to 500K. Oh, we're at 200K, get them to 800K. So the takeaway is when it comes to positioning, you kind of now have this in your toolbox, right? Everybody here, if you did this exercise, you could make compelling content and you could test until things are flying to the moon for you. All right. Now, offer stacking with GPT. This is going to be the last part of the presentation here. We've been experimenting a ton with how can we use our formula to get some awesome results with AI. Now, here's a major disclaimer. Remember how I was talking about, customer acquisition costs are rising. You need to know your customer better to inform your marketing better. Well, ChatGPT, if you're super lazy, you're all not going to be super lazy because you're here at Digital Marketers Incredible AI Bootcamp. But if you're lazy with ChatGPT and you think ChatGPT is going to write all your content, people can tell. Like marketers can tell. It's a bad look. It's a bad look creating content that looks lazy. Okay, so you actually have the potential of making your marketing worse if you're not inputting the right stuff. So the path forward here with hooks, you need to know your customer. So AI will be great at giving you hook ideas and for assisting with your research. Okay, with the TBAF value attributes, these ones are all about you. So you kind of have to jot down these things about you in point form, but AI can help you flush them out and assemble them and put them together, right? AI is awesome if you have great inputs and prompts. We've mostly been using AI to assemble these offer stacks for ads and emails. That's like the biggest use case that you could probably walk away with from today. But if you don't have good inputs and prompts, it's easy to sniff out lazy ChatGPT content. I literally say this all the time to the people in my Merchant Mastery mentorship group. They'll be like, Scott, can you give me feedback on this copy? And I'm like, is this your copy? Because it looks a lot like this was just a ChatGPT lazy kind of writing. And they're like, yeah, you got me. It was ChatGPT. I could tell right away. Okay, so let's take a look at what we could do. So here's how I would create hooks without inputs. So this is me just being like lazy, not doing much, going to ChatGPT and saying this prompt right here at the top. Create marketing hooks for a company that sells wakeboards to lake dads. Nothing here is like really speaking to the nuances of the avatar. Not much mind reading happening. It's like ride the waves like a pro with our wakeboards. Upgrade your lake experience with our high quality wakeboards. Get the perfect wake every time. It's kind of like cliche stuff, right? It's pretty cliche. But then one thing I did like was like, okay, well, if we're talking to dads, what can we do? Like if we're being lazy, fine. So maybe if anyone here wants to be lazy, cool. I didn't mean to trash lazy people, but you could do this one thing. Create more, but this time use dad jokes, right? Because you're trying to think of like what would be a real knee slapper for your avatar. What's going to stop them in their tracks? Maybe dads like dad jokes. I know I would. Right? And they gave me some like all right ones. I kind of like this one. Our wakeboards are a wake-up call for your lake adventures. Or I kind of like this other one. Wakeboarding is a sure thing with our boards. So a little bit better when we included something that the avatar would care about. Okay. But if we do hooks using the before and after grid, right? You could say something like, this is a prompt I use. Create concise marketing hooks that are less than 15 words for a wakeboarding company selling to lake dads using the following categories. And I just listed out all those ingredients from the before and after grid that I was showing you all earlier on, right? And then it gave me these hooks right here, okay? Now, again, some of them are a little bit generic, a little bit cliche, but they're getting closer to reading the avatar's mind, right? Like spend quality time with family and friends every weekend, bond with loved ones while wakeboarding, upgrade your status from neighbor to lake hero. That's pretty cool. Be the guy everyone wants to hang out with, make a splash with their gear and level up your status. Say no to phone addiction and yes to healthy athletic fun. I like that one, right? So one of my favorite things to do, and everybody here could probably agree, it's kind of fun. Like now, I don't think I would always create content using the before and after grid. And I don't think I would ever create content without at least consulting ChatGPT for something, because it's really good at like getting the ideas going. So as long as you have the right inputs, the right prompts, it's going to give me this. And I'm like, oh, these are actually pretty good. But is there anything that I could do to elevate them a little bit, like edit them a tiny bit? So that's one route that you could go. Okay, now this is a bonus, hooks using reviews. I went to our merchant mastery community and I knew I was going to be doing this AI session today. And I was like, hey, everybody, I'm going to be talking about the offer stack and positioning with digital marketers community. Who's been using AI to create your offer stacks? And I had this one awesome guy. He's a magician and he sells like magic products. And he was like, okay, cool. He's like, this is what I've been doing. Here's a prompt. You are a bot that pulls out marketing hooks from user reviews. I'll paste a series of reviews one at a time, and you are to scan them and identify the core value that the customer got from their experience. You'll output as many of these value concepts as you find in any text. Then he just pasted a review. We decided to go to Old Town right into this little gem of a place, right? And then ChatGPT, because you gave it the right prompt, it's going to say, based on this review, the core values that the customer got from their experience are entertainment, professionalism, affordability, and positive emotions. Okay. And then it expands a little bit. Entertainment gives a little summary of each one. I love this idea. I love this idea of using ChatGPT and AI to provide summaries. So if you don't have your own reviews, you could be like, okay, I'm going to go find a competitor's reviews. And I found like 100 from all these different sites. And you can use this prompt. And we're going to share all these prompts with everybody. All the presenters are sharing their prompts with everybody here. So you're going to have this exact one. But it's a really good way to like input a lot of content and get a summary for like, what should I create my hook about, right? And then I went a step further because that was the guy in the program who gave me that formula. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go a step further. Now create concise marketing hooks that are no longer than 10 words using each of the following categories. And it talked about entertainment. Now it's like unforgettable magic show for the whole family. Get ready to be spellbound with our magic show. Best entertainment, professionalism hooks, experienced magicians for a flawless show, dedicated to providing an unforgettable experience. You see where this is kind of going? Affordability, enjoy a magical evening at affordable price, budget-friendly magic show for all, positive emotions, leave feeling amazed and inspired, right? So this is a really good way to get a summary of what your customer is actually telling you and then creating some hooks after that. All right, but this is kind of what I've been doing the most. And I do this all the time. Like it's like a daily activity for me because I'm so offer stacked out. Scott Offerstack Cunningham is what I'm changing my middle name to be. But what you would do is you input the 5-part offer stack formula into ChatGPT. And this is like my favorite thing to do. It's just create a Facebook. I know there's going to be other sessions about Facebook ads and email. So I'm not going to get too deep in there, but I'm just showing that you could use these like offer stacks to help with your positioning for whatever channel you're advertising or promoting your products on. So this prompt is just create a Facebook ad that includes the following ingredients for a Shopify store that sells wakeboards using a spirited brand voice. And these are those 5 ingredients that we looked at from the offer stack formula page. And then it gives me this, right? It's like, okay, so I gave that input and now it's like, say goodbye to Snapchat. It gives me this whole paragraph. And I was like, ooh, I do not want to read that paragraph. So before reading it, I just said to ChatGPT, now break that up into Facebook ads, description, body, headline, and call to action. And then it gave me a workable Facebook ad, right? The headline, step up your summer game with the latest wakeboards. Description, get the latest 22 models featuring this technology. Body, say goodbye to Snapchat and hello to summer fun. At this store, we believe your kids deserve the best when it comes to enjoying the outdoors, right? So it's got all the ingredients. Call to action, shop now, receive a free wake vest of your choice. Oh, I love this. And I'm not kidding you right now. There's a guy in our mentorship school right now. We did this exact exercise with him. So we just took the 5 ingredient formula, put it into ChatGPT, just like I'm showing you, broke it up into Facebook ads, description, body, headline, and call to action, just like I'm showing you. And this guy's been running ads for years. This formula produced his best performing ad, right? So I got some like validation to back it up that as long as you brainstorm those 5 ingredients, put it into AI, produce the material, it could work really well. Okay. And then we just would do the same thing where it's like, now let's create a marketing email. Create a marketing email that includes the following ingredients for a Shopify store that sells wakeboards using a spirited brand voice. Input the same things, right? And then it gives me this email right here. Subject, get your kids off Snapchat and out on the lake. And it's like, summer's just around the corner. We have the perfect solution. Spirited brand voice, right? Positive, charismatic, lots of exclamation marks. One satisfied customer said, my kids absolutely love it. So this is a pretty good email. As long as we're giving it the right 5 ingredients, it's going to produce something pretty cool. But if you know your avatar better, just like the example where I was like, okay, let's talk about dad jokes. Another thing I tried was like, now say it in a voice of a hippie. And this was kind of fun. It gave me some like more clever, engaging content. Subject, let's get your kiddos out into the wild blue yonder, right? Greetings. The sun is shining and the wind is blowing, calling us all to the wild blue yonder, right? So a little bit more fun, but it's including the same ingredients and it's talking more to the right avatar, assuming these dads like hippie stuff. All right. And then one other thing I tried was just, I said, okay, now, like dependent on where the customer is at in the customer value journey, digital marketers, CVJ, a lot of you probably know about. If they're way over at the loyalty stage, this is something people don't focus enough on is, hey, I said it at the start, acquisition costs are going up. Nobody can get away from that. But the way to battle that really is to improve our average order value and more importantly, our customer lifetime value. So repeat selling to existing customers is how we get to profitability. It's not on acquisition, right? So I've been harping on this with a lot of people for a long time. I'm like, we got to cater to our best customers. So you could simply say, now rewrite that email to someone who has been a loyal customer for a long time. Hey, we like to extend a warm thank you for your continued support over the years, right? And this is truly the way I would write this to a customer who's been around for a long time. All right, so I'm just going to recap here on some steps, and then we'll get into some good old Q&A. The steps are, do the hard part, fill out your before and after grid, right? And then you're going to create hooks using the before and after grid responses. And as long as you jotted down some bullet points, you can use ChatGPT to flush these out more. And if you don't have any hooks and you don't know how to fill out your before and after grid, go and get some reviews and get ChatGPT to do a summary like I was showing, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to input all 5 ingredients, hooks plus TBIF to ChatGPT to compile offer stacks for all your assets, ads, emails, and landing pages. And then you're going to refine it based on the brand voice and on the avatar. All right, everybody. Thank you. Let's open that up for some Q&A.
Woohoo. Here you go, Scott. I think that's fantastic. It's funny because, the first part of it was all describing just the framework, and that really reinforces what we're trying to do here, which is base AI use off of kind of established marketing methodologies. And you did an excellent job explaining. And then once you just put it in, it made the whole system, happen instantly. So that was fantastic. All right, let's get some questions. And this session was supposed to include the brand voice. We're actually going to delay that one session because brand voice and the offer all the offer attributes that Scott just talked about are very important. So what we'll do if nobody has questions is we'll just start demoing the system live if Scott could get ChatGPT to load while it's happening.
Yeah.
So just, go ahead.
I would love to do it if somebody is there anybody wild enough here that was like jotting these things down as I was going through the presentation? Did anybody here brainstorm 5 ingredients? Or if not, we could do like the quickest offer stack ever done live. And I can put it in ChatGPT and show you how quick that would all be.
There we go. Let's do it for a digital marketer product. We got the social media cert coming out.
Yeah. Volunteers anyway. Yeah, we could do DM. We can do DM. Oh, Jackie.
Oh, we got some volunteers.
Okay, Jackie, I'm so glad you volunteered because I know you, and I know your business, and that'll be pretty.
Oh,
good.
Also,
okay.
Vicky's asking for a B2B version too. So I'll tell you.
Yeah, B2B. So yeah, okay. Jackie isn't because she's an art teacher. We could do let's do like a couple quick examples here. We'll do Jackie and somebody else who's B2B. If we have a B2B. Because the funny thing is, and the truth is, we do a lot of marketing for ourselves. Like we have a Shopify agency, but we do a ton of marketing for ourselves, which is B2B marketing. And we use the same ingredients for ourselves too. SaaS are absolutely welcome. And I would say that is B2B.
We also have Tamara's who's saying, how about video email marketing to cold audience? It's not really the product though. We need the product.
Yeah,
B2C
SaaS will be really
well, B2C, just so everybody knows, business to consumer, that is like Daryl. So that's probably a good example of, retail B2C.
Yeah. Okay. So
financial planners, AIO staff for marketing agencies.
Okay.
Financial planners, that could be an easy one.
Yeah. Really easy. Like this, they're all going to be easy. This is the good thing. Once you get really good with this formula, you do it pretty quick. Okay. So why don't we start with Jackie? Because this will be a fun way to kick it off. And like Mark said, fingers crossed that ChatGPT is working.
I do have it loaded up, so I could do it on mine if I need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you got it loaded up there. So let's, is Jackie, are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
Yep.
Hey.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to need, and hey, maybe you have some of these answers, right? The first thing that we're going to need, and why don't I do this, Mark? Should I write it in the chat and then you just copy and paste it?
Yeah, that works.
Or you know what? I think I can get mine working.
Then
Here.
everybody could do it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So the first thing that we need, Jackie, is a hook that speaks to your customer's undesirable state or their desire.
They learn to the hook. Well, learn to draw better than your grandkids.
You love
Is
it.
that a hook?
Yeah, it is. Right? Because truthfully, it is a qualifier. It's anybody who's wanted to learn how to draw. It doesn't say how. Right? That's kind of the key. Is like we're not explaining exactly what we do. We're just saying learn how to draw better than your grandkids. Okay. So that's our hook. Learn how to draw better than your grandkids. Okay. So that's ingredient number 1. The next thing that we need is a function attribute. So how do you deliver and how do you get people to learn how to draw better than their grandkids?
You mean like functionally, like with Zoom, or it's like 5 days, 5 hours?
Oh yeah, you guys want to see me type live? We could do that too. I just saw someone say, yeah, exactly what you're saying, Jackie. It's totally like at this point, it's just going to be how you deliver. It's like what you were saying, how many hours, how do I go about your service to draw better?
Sign up for a 5 hours over 5 days, 1 hour a day for 5 days to learn to draw.
Okay, cool. So learn
5 1-hour lessons.
Yeah, take 5 1-hour lessons. How? Online?
Yeah, on Zoom or Facebook.
And what will you teach them? And how many steps?
They create 3 drawings of elephants and penguins and chickens.
Where you will
That-
learn how to draw elephants, chickens. What was the other one?
and a penguin.
And a penguin. And is there a name for your method? Like based on what kind of principles?
Using Zen, like breakthrough Zen mindfulness methods, something like that.
Breakthrough mindful Zen methods. Perfect. Basically like how you deliver on this promise, right? They're going to draw better than their grandkids. Well, here's how. You're going to take 5 1-hour lessons on Zoom where you learn how to draw elephants, chickens, and penguins using our breakthrough mind. Perfect. That's a perfect function. So, and penguins. So we know that this one, just as a reminder, this was the hook. This here was the function. And how about a brand? So now they want to know, like, why would I do this with Jackie? Like, so they wanted to align with the values, believe in your mission. So this one's about you and like the founder story.
Hundreds of testimonials, hundreds of like the success. Or...
Okay, so that would be influence. It's more about, this one's about your values, your mission, your vision. It's like, we believe everybody should keep growing their whole life. Like that would be like a brand value.
Yeah. So,
or like, I started this business to solve this thing. That would be a brand.
So, it's kind of like bringing more joy and beauty into the world, but is that too distant from what they're...
No. We believe, or like, is it more like we believe everyone can bring...
Anyone can draw, even if you can't draw a stick figure. Anyone can learn to draw.
The world. We believe anyone can learn to draw and bring beauty in the world, into the world. I like that. Okay. And then now we just need influence. So tell me about those hundreds.
700 successful graduates already creating amazing drawings.
Or yeah, today, I don't know about already. I know you're a quick success story here, but let's pretend you've been doing this for a decade.
Oh yeah, so well, it's hundreds over the last for 12 years.
Okay, how many do you have, like 5-star reviews or anything like that that we could leverage?
Yeah, we've got a ton of photo testimonials and word testimonials
Like hundreds
and before
of-
and after.
Okay. Could I say like hundreds of 5-star reviews?
Sure, we can pretend.
Okay. Or unless you have, I want to talk about like, if you have something more accurate, let's put it in.
It's kind of like a page of joy, like testimonials with photos, and so we've got a web page.
So it's more like, okay, so what we could do, 700 successful graduates with rave reviews.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, it's a call to action. Like this is like the transaction attribute where we would include an offer.
Oh, a $97 workshop for the price of $7.
Yeah.
Sign up now.
Take our $97 workshop for the price, or for $7.
Yeah.
For only $7. Sign up today. Okay. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have my prompt sheet here. So I have it already. I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I would go like this. That was from the presentation. Create a Facebook ad that includes the following ingredients for a online art school.
Yeah.
That sells art classes.
Yeah. To adults.
To adults. And then when it comes to like the brand voice, this is usually just, we want to meet the avatar where they're at.
Speaking to grandmas, I guess. So I don't know what.
Classes to grandmas instead of adults.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Using a
Even
gentle
when-
brand voice, gentle, or what? How do? What do they resonate with? What type of voice and energy?
They're sort of seeking joy, but they also
Let me
seek
have a
kindness.
baked apple.
Joyful. Joyful brand voice. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so there we go. This is the prompt. This is all we're doing. Create a Facebook ad, right? So I'm going to go like this, copy it. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. Make sure my screen is there. Okay. Okay. Boom. We got it in there. Let's see what comes out. And I know it's going to give me a paragraph. So if anyone feels like refining this advanced, I just like what I'm going to do. Oops, go back there. Is now I'm going to go, this is what I did as my second prompt. Is I said, now break that into Facebook ads description, body, headline, and call to action. Okay, there you go. Join our art school for grandmas today. I love that. Okay.
Look at that. It's finding some of the stuff that's.
Okay. Oh,
Perfect.
increase isn't my volume. I didn't know that anybody could, or a couple people commented on my volume. Hopefully that's better. It's a good thing I gotta just keep the mic closer. Anyway, so there we go. It produced out something, right? The one thing that is like iffy right now is the description text in a Facebook ad is only supposed to be like this long at the most. But they got that, they got the headline, they got the body, they got a call to action. Okay. Like I might even just say like, recreate this with a shorter description. Let's just see what they say. It's not much shorter, is it?
You can
Okay.
specify the number of characters or words as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Rewrite this using less than 100 words. They really love that description, but this description that they included, we might just use that as the body.
Mhm.
They're just confusing like what the description is with the Facebook ad, but we got a good call to action. right? It's probably like close to this first one that they gave us, but then we would just refine it for Facebook's format. Okay.
Brilliant.
Alrighty.
Thank
We
you.
do- Yeah. And that's kind of like, as long as you have those 5 ingredients, they're going to say something that's not bland. Right.
Uh-huh.
And you can rework it. As long as you have your 5 ingredients, you can rework it. Say, like, make it funnier, make it sound like Matt McConaughey. I saw somebody say, use Matt McConaughey's voice in the chat, right? We could totally do that. Alrighty. Should we do another one?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, I think well, some of the easiest applications you could have, because you've probably done a lot of this work for landing pages. Should we just pick a B2B landing page and then you pull the elements and create the Facebook ad?
Yeah. Oh, James is chiming in saying you can specify an output template, right? So I think he's going to be doing that in one of the later sessions, right? Like the output templates. I would like to come to that one, because really mine wasn't about like creating the right format for a Facebook ad or an email. It's more about like the positioning and making sure that you're using these 5 ingredients. So using these 5 ingredients with a good output template could just be the answer to everything we need. Alrighty. Let's do another example here. B2B marketing. Oh,
We have a SaaS hook. I think we should use Thomas's.
okay. You already got one there. That's even better.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I'm going to copy that. We'll put it in my little impromptu document here. Okay, SaaS hook. We got the hook. Would you like to have your landing page today online today? Would you like to have your Would you like to launch your landing page today? Is that okay?
Like that.
Would you like to launch your landing page today? Now, this one is a transactional. Register for your 14-day free trial, and you're ready to make your first deal. Are you? Yeah, I like this. Get your first deal. Would you like to launch your landing page today and get a customer tomorrow? That might be a better hook. And then this would just be the call to action here. Ready for your 14-day free trial. Okay. And then, so far we got, I'm just going to make a little space, or maybe I'll just get rid of your stuff, Jackie. No, I want to keep that top part though. All right. Would you like to launch your landing page today and get a customer tomorrow? Register for your 14-day free trial. Oh yeah, register for your 14-day free trial. We help you make your first online sale in 14 days. So yeah, we're kind of saying that here. How is my question? Hundreds of German coaches have big success with our platform. Can't be wrong. Okay, that's influence. When you sign up for now, you get paid plan. What's the one thing that's missing is like how? How do you launch my landing page today and get me a customer tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a good one. They have to do it their own. So yeah, but great. I learned already a lot. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Yeah, you bet. But I want to nail this with you right here. So
yeah.
And
So,
hopefully as I'm doing this, who was that? James. I hope James in the background, you're getting me an output template ready. But let's go back to, or is that you, James Bullis? No, there's 2 Jameses. Okay.
I think James Bullis was the one saying it though.
Oh, was that?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So the question is, why is it with your landing page builder that it's so easy to set up in one day? Why?
We have better support, but it sounds like something which is just blah, blah, blah. I got it. So I think the templates are one of the most important thing, and also the usability. Let me say, like Apple, when you use Apple, it's so easy that everybody, every kid can use it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I kind of like that as a hook. Like the Apple of landing page builders or something like that.
It's cool.
But it's like we like it's like, what are the things? It's like the user experience.
Yeah, makes sense. So
We
let me say the
provide-
German approve, right? For you guys in America, the German approve, who when you just see it from a case of a German car. It's a bit different than the Teslas.
Well, you know
But
what?
Tesla have better marketing, I know.
So I think the key is this: when it, like, we're here to talk about positioning, right? So when it
Yeah.
comes to this 5-part formula, we don't want to skip over any of the ingredients. So I'm glad you shared this because it was definitely missing function, right?
Yeah.
So I think we've come up with, like, I basically, based on what you're saying, it's like the template and we offer guidance, right? So we provide easy to build templates and offer guidance every step of the way.
That's cool. That's very cool.
You might be able to do better in explaining your products to someone.
No,
but-
no, you did it already better. That's exactly, you know, what was my first experience in America? They
Yeah.
explain me. They say, you German, I'm not German at all, by the way. I speak German, but they say, you German, you build the best products on this planet, but we Americans, we sell it. And that's something what I really appreciate.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
do it.
the engineers and the salespeople.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the hook, we got the function, we got transaction, we got influence here, right? So I'm gonna get rid of, I kind of like that we help you make your first online sale in 14 days.
Yeah, it's good. I would keep that element.
Like,
That's not
so
bad, or?
this might even be our hook.
I think so, because putting up a landing page a day, anybody could do that technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also many times, let me say, a loss of translation of at all. So yeah. However,
So we're gonna go with, this is the hook. Launch your landing page today, get a customer tomorrow. I'm just gonna make this all function.
it's cool.
Okay, so we got make your first online sales make your first online sale in 14 days. That's pretty cool. That's a good hook, right? Because then it's like, wait a minute. I definitely want that in the next 14 days, but I have no idea how this company helps me do it. Launch your landing page today and get a customer tomorrow. We provide easy to build templates and offer guidance every step of the way. Okay, that's function.
Appreciate. It's really great. Awesome.
Okay, and then so now we need some like brand. Wait, we got influence here. Hundreds of German coaches have been successful with our platform. Yeah, okay, I like that one. Let's get that in there for influence. We're gonna have to remove this influence thing after, but hook, make your first online sale in 14 days. Function, we got that. Brand, we need a brand one. Okay, and this is like, I'm gonna come back to this because this is more transactional too, but this is a
Yeah.
big one that I think is missing a lot of the time. Like digital marketer, I don't know if they still use the same big brand promise. We're gonna help 10,000 businesses double in the next 5 years. That's a big brand mission that people want to get behind. Right?
Yeah.
Dennis Yu, I'm on a mission to create 1 million jobs. Right? These are like big mission. It could be like a value, it could be a founder story. So what, but it's about likability and relatability, and it's not just some teenage kid sitting in his parents' basement like launching some SaaS thing.
Yeah, Scott, probably I have to answer already. It's something like what we do different than all the others. We
Yeah.
don't speak just one language. We see the world. Just look behind me, right? There is the globe behind me. So we have already translated in 38 different languages. And I guess this is a very big problem. We don't have a SaaS which is just in English or just in German or whatever. So we do it for your country. I don't find the right words yet, but
This is another function attribute,
yeah.
right? Because it's talking about the features and the benefits for who and how it makes your life better, right?
Yeah.
But a brand is more about the way that you conduct business. We're obsessed about making sure that every landing page is like, you know, it's the values and the way that you conduct business, your mission, your values. It's the hardest one to nail down. It's why we're hung up here.
Especially for us in Europe. That's exactly where we are. Yeah. But however, we are obsessed
No, it's just funny
to
thing.
make the whole to digitalize the whole world, that everybody can sell online, something like that, right?
We are obsessed. Yeah, it's about like it's a value in the way you conduct business. We are obsessed with helping everyone, like, or giving anyone the tools to sell online.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or helping anyone sell online. right? If it's
Thank,
like, okay,
thank you all the guys who helping me already in the chat. I realize.
it's really funny. I was just watching that Chris Rock stand up. He was like streaming it on Saturday, and I was seriously like, okay, I'll put this on before I go to bed, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, he's talking about Lululemon, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's talking about brand attributes, because he's like, oh, Lululemon, don't tell me how you save trees, just sell me a yoga pant. And I was like, okay, he doesn't really get it, but it's funny. Anyway, we want to include brand attributes, right? Because it's the likability, relatability thing. In e-commerce, this is so important because you don't want to look like a drop shipping website. You have to be a real person with a story for people to connect. Okay. So far we, yeah.
Sell their, is this already enough? We are obsessed with helping anyone to
everything.
sell online. Full stop, right? Or
That's
yeah,
good
you
enough.
know, we make it in Europe, we make it so many times too complicated for everybody.
This is it right here. Okay. So this is a good exercise for literally everybody to go through, because this is your pitch. This is your pitch. I often call this like a sales pitch. If you were like talking to somebody at a booth at a trade show, you could be like, hey, you know, nobody's going to come to your booth excited to learn about what you do. But if you were standing in front of your booth being like, hey, do you want to make your first online sale in 14 days? Oh, okay, now you got my attention. How? Oh, well, you can launch your landing page today, get a customer tomorrow. It's because we have easy build templates and we offer guidance every step of the way. And we're obsessed with helping anyone sell online. And there's like hundreds of German coaches been successful with this platform. They cannot be wrong, right? Register now for a 14-day trial. What's to lose, right? That was the whole pitch I just went through. And people are like, okay, yeah, I'm in. Right?
It's an
So
elevator pitch.
it is. And it's like when you're online talking to your customers, you're not there to preempt their objections and handle their objections. So you need your content to do it, right? So this is looking like a really good little pitch here. I like this one. Okay. So now I know that the one thing, like, and it can be really fun using AI to like flush out so many variations for like a landing page. Like, why don't we try a landing page? Create a landing page that includes the following ingredients for a, how would you define your business?
For a software business?
For a software business that sells landing page builders.
Yeah, just use it. Just use page builders, be easier.
Page builders to entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Hey, James, do you want to unmute and actually use or show Alex or Scott how to use the template that you just put in the chat?
Yeah, so I think if you take that, I had to look up a lot of things to make sure we had the right character limits. But if you just add that to the end of your prompt, it should use the information along with that. Just say output using the following output template, and then
James, I'm giving you a virtual hug right now.
you guys are amazing. I love you.
And just a reminder, where are we putting this again, James? I'm just putting it below my initial prompt.
yeah, so you create the prompt, and then you should be able to say, let's see. I would probably put your information above your prompt and then put the prompt and then put this output and say, use this output using the information above, use this output template.
Okay. Okay. And then, so
It's also okay to fail too. It's all right.
this
It is.
information above, one more time, using this information above.
Use the output template. Yeah.
Use
Use
the
the following output template. Yeah, that should work.
Oh, ooh, I like this output template. Okay.
I like the Americans. You know marketing. Hey guys, all in the chat. Thanks a lot for your assistant here. The whole team. Appreciate.
We like you too, even though I'm Canadian.
Okay.
You're close enough.
let us make it easy. We like the world, okay?
Okay, and then so I'll go with a new chat just to. All right. Okay, so we got everything in there. Who's ready for a drum roll? Michelle, you got a drum roll?
Cross your fingers, so no.
The wave.
That was quick.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, because it had the ad copy in there and I said landing page. So it might have been.
Yeah, I realized I created one for Facebook ad.
Yeah.
So
So let's do that then.
Doesn't matter.
Let's do that. Let's just create a Facebook ad. There we go. That's all we needed to change. Okay. And then we're going back in here. Let's just do a new chat again. Back in here for a Facebook ad. Now that we got the right output format. Yeah, there we go.
Crazy.
The brand voice.
well, that was a little weird.
That one was a little
My
weird.
fault,
Switch the
yeah.
order. Oh, it'll need to be trimmed down because we put the ad copy at 125 character limit. We're getting closer though. This was
Yeah, I'm literally using ChatGPT to figure this out. So
should we try 125 character? Should we raise that up to like 400? Because I think you can use 400 in the body.
yeah, absolutely.
So let's just try that again. And why not? The brand voice thing was looking a little iffy there. But let's see if it makes that same mistake. Okay, add copy. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, okay, 249 characters. Okay. Better. Amaya said maybe say please and thank you. I know I've seen a lot of people.
Scott, you have to you have to send me all those copies. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so like I'm just gonna put it in the chat now so I can
Please.
not have to do any emailing after. There you go. Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
You betcha. You betcha. And Jackie, hopefully like this is one thing I was a little like, oh wait, the format wasn't looking perfect for an ad. We could retry it with this output format, the output template.
Yeah, and then you can keep tinkering it until it gets you a good output. And of course, ChatGPT has a mind of its own, so it's never going to always follow exactly what you give it, but it's a pretty good starting point.
Okay, and bear with me, everyone. I'm just undoing, just so I can get Jackie's thing back. There's probably a better way to do this. Jackie, did you?
That's
say
okay, Scott, I got it.
You got it. Okay.
I'll be fine. Yep. Thank you.
Hopefully nobody got seasick from that dizzying experience.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a really good example and, a really simple application of, AI in general. So it doesn't always have to be some massive multi-step, multi-loading thing process. It could be as simple as what we just did here, but it really relies on the marketer still, which if you haven't noticed, that's kind of an ongoing theme, is that marketers are necessary. No matter how much you want to automate your process, you still need somebody to sit there, hopefully has tons of experience in the space and could generate what you want way faster using AI. Because if you just saw, we just basically ideated and created, a pitch, a hook, and everything else in about 20 minutes, which is super impressive. So simple lesson other than the offer framework, which is fantastic. Make sure you review that. We actually just updated all the links on the course, and I also put those in the chat. So if you don't have the templates, go ahead and look in there. I also put another video that we actually produced with Scott, I think it was last year, might have been the year before last, talking about Lake Darrow, just to give you an example. And I love that example because it really helps illustrate the process of creating good copy and good ads without having to, do a ton of work, but it makes it more emotional than most things would be. So way to go, Scott. That was excellent.
That was fun. I like that. I like that on the spot stuff. I almost want to do that like all the time.
That's my favorite thing to do. And just so you know, we did not cover brand voice. I was originally going to kind of try to squeeze it in at the end, but we were already at like 30 minutes left. So we may be pushing, James, I'll have to talk to you, one session, just pushing it back so we could cover brand voice, then also just the basic application of AI to the customer value journey. Since now that we have the offer, we have our customer avatar or our ideal client profile, now we could create the CVJ. And so I think what we'll do is next session, we'll cover the CVJ, cover brand voice at the same time. That one, we might not have too much room for questions and answers, but if we don't have time to cover it, we'll be sure to cover it in Slack. So no worries there. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate this. Fantastic materials. And again, if you really want in depth of what Scott was talking about, this is all covered in our e-commerce certification, which we came out with and updated last year using Scott, Lauren, and Simon. Again, this is going to be uploaded within 24 hours, more likely within an hour. So you can look for the replay on the course page and also on the Slack community. So be sure to check that out and review. And if you can, do your profile, use ChatGPT, and then show your work. Go ahead and upload there. We'll try to get to it, evaluate, and provide everybody with feedback so you can make it even more useful and suggestions. I don't know if you noticed, but we actually had James jump in here and give advice on making Scott's template even better. And that's what we're doing. That's why we have a community of marketers. And it's not just us telling you exactly what to do all the time, because there's always somebody who knows more. So thank you so much, Scott.
Yeah, James, that was awesome. And Garrett raised
And
a good
James.
point. Like we have the M3 Mastermind. There's a lot of people in here that are in Digital Marketers M3 Mastermind, and we host like a Feedback Friday call. So anybody in here that's in the mastermind, we should totally do this like this Friday, like in 2 days. We'll do some more like offer stacking. But everybody, thanks so much. This was a lot of fun being out here today. And Mark, thank you for inviting me out.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate it as always. And thank you everyone for joining. Next session is going to be Monday. I'm going to talk to James. If he can't delay, then we'll have to push another one back, but hopefully he will. And we'll go ahead and cover Brand Voice and the CVJ in the next session. And that's Monday at 2 p.m. or actually, I'm sorry, 2:30 Central Time, as usual.
All right. See everyone.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week.